Hey guys, welcome to our video today. It is July 13th, 2016, and today we are going to be talking about thoughtfulness, and that was our dare of the day. So that's what we're going to be talking about, and I guess I'll go ahead and open it up. So the verse that was given is Psalm 139, 17 through 18, and I will read that to you really quick. It says, "How precious also are your thoughts to me, how vast the sum of them. If I should count them, they would outnumber the sand." And so the main idea today is just about being thoughtful and thinking about meeting the needs of your partner. And what it talks about in this chapter is how in the beginning of your relationship it's really easy to be thoughtful because it's just sort of natural. I mean, when we first got together, we were always thinking of ways that we were going to be able to surprise each other or please each other, or just anything really. And so but after time, obviously it's natural for human beings, we just get complacent and stop making that a priority and really stop even considering the needs of your significant other. And I know that's definitely where we kind of found ourselves about a week ago. Even though it's been going on for a long time, where we really just started to acknowledge it. And so this one really was, it stepped on my toes for sure, because the way it describes a woman and how a woman thinks is exactly like me, and then how it describes a man is just like him. And so I'm sure a lot of people can really relate to this one, because it's basically us women, we tend to expect our partners to read our minds and know what's wrong, why we're mad, why we're upset, why it bothers us. We expect them to know every single detail of the issue, when in all reality they're kind of clueless to that kind of stuff, because they only think they tend to have a one-track mind where they get focused on something and that's all they're going to think about. They're not like us, where we just sort of, we have like a multi-conscious, I don't know, we just think about several different things all at once, because that's just what we were born to do, especially if you're a mom. You're in charge of getting the kids up, getting them ready, breakfast, making their lunch, sending them to school. Then you still at the same time have to remember to run to the dry cleaners, pick up the clothes, get home, clean the house, make sure you leave a check out for the lawnmower crew, all that kind of stuff. So we were wired to have to think about, several different things at one time. Where men, they just kind of get on their little tangent and then there they go off on that one thing. So something that I just want to say is to just try and focus on, for us women, we need to really learn how to communicate, and communicate truthfully, and tell them how we feel, not say one thing meaning another thing, because I know that's definitely something that I do. And I really have trouble just communicating verbally at all. I know it drives him crazy, but when there's something wrong, you can always tell, because I just shut down and I don't say anything, and he'll try to drag it out of me, and that just makes me more mad usually. And so I know that's something that I definitely have to work on and get better at, because I'm sure it's not fun trying to read my mind all the time, and he's never right when he does try to read it. So okay, I'm gonna let him go now.
What's going on, guys? She kind of hit it on the head, but as soon as I started reading today, I was like, wow, it was just speaking to me, like, directly. I felt like, kind of like she said, it was stepping on my toes, because the whole chapter, it basically explained our entire lifespan of our relationship so far, because it is easy when you first get together, and it's all you're thinking about. It says, when you first fell in love, it came naturally. If you weren't together, then you're always wondering, I wonder what they're wearing today, I wonder what they look like today. You're always thinking about them. I wonder what they're doing, and then you're also rehearsing some impressive things to say whenever you do get with them, because you always want to be impressing them. and then you actually do, you confess. I remember I confessed this a lot, that I couldn't stop thinking about it. And like she said, for the most part, this begins to change whenever you do get married. Uh, One of the reasons being, okay, the wife finally got her man, and the man finally got his trophy. That's a quote from the book. So, uh, you know, once you get to that point, what starts happening is you really, you drift your focus in other things. Okay, I have the girl of my dreams, the woman of my dreams. I married her, and now your focus begins to go to other things. And I feel like it's very common in all marriages. I mean, not all of them, but a lot of them. And so it says, your focus begins to go to your job, your friends, the problems, personal desires, yourself, your kids, everything except for your spouse. And that, obviously, that's going to start to pull you apart. And you start unintentionally to ignore the needs of your mate, right? And so, eventually you get to the point, and I can relate with this, where you start forgetting things. You start being surprised instead of being thoughtful. So for maybe your anniversary or birthday or some big event that happened, in y'all's relationship on that day, and you forgot about it. And if you forget about it, then you absolutely miss out on an opportunity to demonstrate your love for them. And so, that's kind of what starts to happen. And as, like she said, with how we think, as men, we're more straight to the point. We say something and we actually mean it straight to the point. And then, I know a lot of you guys can relate to this, but then your wife or your girlfriend or whatever, they're like, they start, their minds turn like, what does he really mean by that? But really you meant what you said. You just got to the point. But they think on the opposite side of the spectrum, and they're trying to figure out what's in between the lines there. So it says women speak between the lines, men speak straight to the point. And so as a man, you really have to start thinking how, because if I truly listen to Autumn and begin, like, you can ask the right questions. I can ask the right questions in a way that she's going to continue to talk back to me. If you truly listen to what's going on with them, you can begin to bring that back together. And so the last thing I'll talk about is it has questions for you to ask yourself at the end of the chapter. And it says, when was the last time that you spent thinking about how you could better understand and demonstrate your love to your spouse? Okay, that's question number one. And then question two was, what immediate need can you meet for them now? And then number three was, what is the next event you could plan for, right? So whether it's an anniversary or a birthday or some special event, start planning for it and do something special for them. Demonstrate your love. Be thoughtful again. We were all thoughtful when we first got in a relationship. We did all kinds of stuff, and get back to that. And it says, great marriages, I'll finish with this quote, great marriages come from great thinking. It's so true. If you really are, you have your mind on your spouse at all times, and you're always thinking about what you can do for them, it's going to start to turn. The dare for the day was to call up your spouse at some point today during business hours and have no agenda. Just ask, how their day's going and what you could do for them. So I'll finish with that. You can finish off.
All right. So yeah, just a challenge for you guys that are watching. Just think about what is an immediate need that you can meet for your spouse or partner. What is something that you could do right now that they would really appreciate and just really take note of. And you just never know. It's the little things that count the most. And one thing that I remember that we've all, since we started kind of fighting and stuff, was because we think completely different, is that, all I ever want is his attention and, his time. But to him, it's, he thinks differently. So, like when he wants to show me how much he loves me, he gives me something. He gives me a gift, and which I love that. But, we have to figure out really what it is that that person, what really gets them going. What is their love language, which is something that we're going to read together and probably do talk about next after we're done with the love dare. But just really, feeding into what it is that they really like and what their heart desires, and being considerate of that. So anyways, that's all we have for today. Thank you for watching, and we have some really exciting things that we're planning for in the future, so stay tuned because it's just going to get better as we figure this stuff out. And so yeah.
Alright, make sure you subscribe and share with everybody that could benefit from this, and we'll talk to y'all soon.